This is a really, really important video, and this is something we get asked almost every single day, 10 times a day. Tell us the difference between your spring and the spring rebounder that you can find in the stores. Okay, and I have specifically blacked out labels and things like that because I don't want to, destroy anybody or like diss any other brand. I don't want to do that. But to me, this is not a rebounder. This is like a play trampoline for kiddies, okay? Maybe, if that. Whereas this is a rebounder. It is a very different thing. We have clients that have knee problems, back problems, neck problems. They have all kinds of special requirements. They cannot be rebounding on this rebounder because it is so jarring. It feels almost the same, maybe 10% less jarring than actually jumping on the ground. So I'm going to show you the difference. Now this is an entry-level model. There's lots of different ones with different color skirts and different brands all over that flood the market. They're super cheap. They're normally under 1,000 Rand, if I want to use Rand as a term, okay? So for South Africans. 1,000 Rand, it's actually more like 800 Rand. And when that, you buy cheap, you buy twice. This is very true for these rebounders. So firstly, the bounce. Let me just talk to you about the bounce because that is critical. When I was in Morocco with staff about 2 years ago, I was so excited because the little boutique hotel we stayed at had this really cute outdoor gym and they had a rebounder and it was a really well-known brand, but I knew that it was a cheapy model. I could just tell by looking at all the elements of it. You get good at doing that. And I asked them, would you mind if I took it to the room? And they said, no, that's fine, nobody uses it. So I was like, nobody uses it. Anyway, took it to the room. Well, did I have a sore back? I could only do 20 minutes and I felt it right here in the middle of my back. It was a horrible, horrible feeling. All my normal moves that I do on my spring rebounder, when I tried to apply those same moves to this rebounder, I was in pain. And I had a sore back for days. It's just not worth it. It absolutely is not worth it. So if you, my word, I actually breaks my heart that there's people out there, and I know it's an affordability thing. So that's why we actually have Pages now, which is a 3-month payment plan that's interest-free. So you get to actually receive your rebounder, start on your wellness journey, and you pay off your rebounder over 3 equal installments without paying interest. So yes, it costs more than double, actually 3 times the price. But you're not going to have any pain. It's going to last you for years, whereas this one is going to break. And the maximum weight should probably be around 60, 70 kgs max, if that, because I'll show you now with the close-ups. So this is the extent of the bounce. I feel like I am jumping on the floor. It is so jarring. It's awful. I can feel it immediately here in my lower back. It's very, very, very small, so there's hardly any space to move. You feel like you are jumping on the springs. It is horrible. It is really, really horrible. It is not forgiving. It definitely does not absorb 70% of your body's weight. I feel it in my back. It's jarring. It's not supportive. It's a horrible experience. And now I know why. When we get clients coming and saying, I did the beginner's program, but I have a little bit of a sore back in week 2. And I ask, what rebounder are you on? And they're like, no, just one of the cheapy ones because I wanted to see first if I liked rebounding and then I'll invest in the proper one. That we get all the time. That is going to put you off ever rebounding. You will be you'll probably get hurt. It won't be a fun experience. You definitely won't look forward to your next workout. It's awful. So, and there's a lot of reasons why, okay? It's very, very sort of short to low to the ground. Tiny little legs, tiny little cheapy feet. I mean, this rebounder probably weighs about 3.5, maybe 4 kilos. I can do bicep curls with it. I can do a forward raise with this rebounder. It's so light. It's not good quality, and we get people saying that it broke after 4 bounces, it broke after 2 months. That will not happen with our rebounders. So, it's worth paying a little more and having something that lasts. So you'll see here that the spring is super short. It hardly has any give. It doesn't have a bulge like ours does in the middle, and it goes straight into the frame. So it's a very, very short bounce, and that's exactly what you're experiencing, this short, hard bounce, just like the spring, short, hard spring. Whereas our springs, we're definitely going to have to do some close-ups here. Our springs are bulgy in the middle, which allow that sort of flexing and relaxation of the spring. A lot thicker, a lot longer, and they actually go into a separate piece that attaches into the frame, not straight into the frame, which allows for very little movement and very little give. It's crazy. To me, it's just like, it's not okay. All right, so that is one of the things that's a big one. Then whenever people send photos in, I always say like this has come undone, like that, this whole thing has come undone. You can see there's hardly any reinforcements in this rebounder. It's just really average. I don't know what trampoline matting that they're using here, but I can like see it's starting to fray already, and we bought this today, just so that we could show you what it's like. I don't know how strong this webbing is. I don't know if this is reinforced, but a big thing for me, it's all about the experience, about the bounce, therefore the safety as well, and just making sure that you know, you enjoy it, because if you enjoy it, you're going to do it every day. You're going to look forward to it, okay? Big thing is spares and repairs. If you go to this specific shop or any of these big chains and you ask them for a spare mat, my mat's torn, which happens, you know, can't give you a spare mat. Can you replace my skirts? My skirt's torn. Can you replace? Nope, don't have it. Sorry, no spare parts. You must buy it again. If the mat breaks, you have to buy a new rebounder. If your leg snaps off, you buy a new rebounder. Foot, spring, you're doomed. There's no way you can repair your rebounder. Even if something small breaks, you have to get a whole new one. Okay, and you'll have to do that a few times a year. If you aren't in hospital from back pain or like a whole hip replacement or something. Okay, so our rebounder. We've got super reinforcements here in our stitching. We've got nice thick webbing. We've got our beautiful springs. You can see there's a lot of give here in the springs. I can pull on them. That you cannot do. It's rock hard. I can't even pull the spring. There's no give at all. So you can imagine there's just no softness at all, no forgiveness. So the length here means a deeper bounce, softer bounce, and the spring is, you know, nice and flexible, which is exactly what you need. Okay, then higher, wider, the mat is, you know, at least that much wider. And, you know, some of our clients want to rebound with a tacky on, like a trainer. And when you do that on this small mat, you feel like you've got no space, where our mat, you know, there is definitely a bit more space if you did want to train with a tacky and not with our bounty soles or socks. So the bounce is a huge one. Ours also folds, so if you open up your flap here, and your other flap, put it on its tummy, it folds towards you, and all of the legs fold in. They're on a sort of a flexi spring. Your legs fold in, your rebounder folds flat in half. It becomes as flat as a pancake and it can slip in a carry bag. This one cannot fold, no carry bag. It's not portable unless you take it like that in its whole form. Okay, but look at the bounce. Look at that forgiveness. I feel like a feather. I feel like my weight is being absorbed. It's soft on all my joints. 70% less impact when you rebound compared to when you jump on the ground. So I rebound in there and then I jump on the ground and I'm like, oh, and then I jump here, I'm like, but that's the same. It feels like the floor. Whereas this is soft, forgiving. Oh, it's just a lovely, lovely bounce. And of course, big thing, we can replace every single part. If you want to pimp up your rebounder and you want to change the skirt, we've got skirts in all the colors, floral, pastel, marble, beautiful skirts, and new ones coming out all the time. We've got spare feet, washers for the feet to balance out your rebounder. We've got bull horns, we've got mats, we've got springs. Every single part of this rebounder can be replaced. If one small thing goes, we can give you a new spring, give you a new mat, give you a new skirt. And it's a small investment, and you have actually a whole new rebounder. If you replace your mat once a year, once every 2 years, and a new skirt every now and again, your rebound is good as gold. Your springs never break, your bull horns never break. Your feet hardly wear through unless you are rebounding on a tennis court or a very uneven, sort of cementy, grainy surface, then you might wear through your feet after a few months or maybe a year. Besides that, your rebounder should last you a very long time. So for 3 times the price, you're getting something that's going to last you maybe up to a decade, whereas that one even lasts you 6 months, if a year if you hardly use it. So guys, when it comes to your health, don't skimp. Buy the proper rebounder that's going to do the right job. It's going to give you the best bounce. It's going to be supportive, forgiving. It has all the spare parts. It's the real deal. Don't think that this is the price for the bounty rebounder and this is the price, I could just get a cheap one from the shops. You know, why go and invest it? If I haven't sold you after this video and kind of convinced you that you need to buy the right equipment to get the right results and have the best experience, then I've done a really bad job. So hopefully you got it at the end of this and you kind of know, aha, this is exactly why it's worth every penny, and I promise you it is. Your health, your body deserves the best, and pay it off interest-free and don't skimp. Okay, so I hope this video helps.